Okay, I think we waited long enough for everybody to join us. Looks like people are still coming in drips and drabs, but welcome everybody and welcome to everybody that hasn't been here. Hi, Brenda, welcome back. And it looks like we've lost George now. But welcome back to today's session. Hopefully, we're going to have some good chats about all the new stuff that's going on in the world of AI. And I see number 641217 is coming back. Hi, Zenobia. How are you? Good.
Good, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah. George, is that you coming back as a number?
Yes, that's me coming back as a number.
Okay, we'll leave you as a number then from now on.
Okay, I'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, and so yeah, we'll want to chat about all the new stuff. For those of you who haven't been here before, it's really I'd like to make it conversational. I will be showing you some interesting stuff that's going on, but if you got some comments or questions, please put your hand up, whether that be your virtual hand or your physical hand. But you're going to need your camera on if you're going to put your physical hand up, otherwise I won't see you. But yeah, and for I'll also show you the kind of stuff that we've done in the past. If you're interested in some of those topics, just let me know. I can always let you have the videos for that. So without any further ado, let me. Is any actually? Let me just get my screen back here. Okay. Anybody with any sort of comments before we get started that wants to ask any questions about what we do here or how this works? But I think it's you'll pick it up as we go. Let me just share my screen quickly. There we go. Everybody see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so I see a couple of other people are still trying to get in. So yeah, let's chat about all the latest developments. And as I said, there's been so many things happening in the last 2 weeks. These companies, these AI companies, are chasing one another in terms of all the stuff that they're bringing out and competing very hard. The big one that we'll talk about today is Google I/O's AI announcements, and there's a lot of stuff that came out there. The GPT 4.4, I keep saying 4.0, it's just GPT 4.0 is obviously out, and we spoke about that last week. That I feel was like one big announcement of quite a big change with ChatGPT, whereas this Google one is a whole bunch of smaller announcement that makes up one big announcement. And then just a couple of other things before we get into the Google I/O announcements is that Elia has left OpenAI and a key AI safety team is now gone. So that's probably a little bit of a concern because Elia was one of the great proponents of safety first at OpenAI and has always sort of said before we release anything and before we develop anything, there's got to be safety measures built in. So you would wonder why he's left OpenAI, and hopefully there's still some safety measures and stuff being built in. But that's always something that has got to be top of mind. And maybe that sort of announcement goes with the US Senate that has now proposed the $30 billion plan for AI. And a lot of that is about regulations and controls and all of that stuff, which they're working quite closely with some of these big AI companies because everybody recognizes the dangers of AI and that AI could take over the world if we're not careful, if we don't control and put the measures in place now while things are still very basic. But as these large language models get smarter and smarter, that danger is going to get bigger and bigger. So and then we'll talk about Google's announcement in ChatGPT, and then also Microsoft has come out with a laptop or a PC that is AI enabled. So I'll quickly show you something about that, but maybe all the detail also we'll have to talk about last week. But then Apple has also announced some big plans, which we'll probably see in the next couple of weeks in terms of what's going to happen on their front, because they've been fairly quiet. But trust me, I know that there's lots of stuff going on at Apple. And when that comes through, it's probably going to be some really big announcements. And then just one more thing about Instagram's co-founder, Mike Krieger, that is now joined Anthropic. Anthropic is the people who's built Claude, the other large language model. So these people are moving around quite a bit amongst the different AI companies, and I think it's probably a factor of also the talent that is scarce at that sort of level. And so these guys are probably getting offered massive amounts to move around from one company to another. But yeah, lots of stuff going on in the AI world. So yeah, just kind of sort of going back in time, for those of you who haven't joined us before, these are sort of the topics that we've discussed in the past. We'll start with number 13, lucky for some, at Google AI's conference releases. And then I'll also touch on Microsoft Copilot plus PC, which is the built-in AI in the laptops and stuff. But without any further ado, has anyone else got any other Skinner that they want to share with us about AI or scary stuff that they heard or exciting stuff that they heard before I launch into Google I/O? No?
Quinton, I can confirm what you're saying about Apple. Two of my team members visited London recently, and Apple is definitely planning a significant launch regarding something big in AI.
Sure. Yeah.
And they were hinting, more than just hinting at it, in terms of the conversations that they were having with our executives.
That's very.
The second one, sorry?
No, carry on.
And then the second big one is the Microsoft Copilot that is launching big time already with our new PCs. Our merch exec has been sort of talking up the game that Microsoft are punching it really hard as it being an integral selling point for the new PCs.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Thanks for that extra feedback. Yeah, I think Apple has been in talks with some of the other AI companies. So I don't know if they're going to have some sort of partnership with somebody else and when they're going to come out, or whether they're just going to do their own thing. Microsoft is obviously in partnership, or has put a massive amount of money behind ChatGPT, but I think that's put them in sort of an uncomfortable position where they're also competing with ChatGPT in a way, but they're also using ChatGPT and especially things like Bing, which is included in some of the Microsoft products and stuff. But Copilot used to be Bing, but it's now sort of been rebranded as Copilot within the Microsoft world. So yeah, it's a fast developing world. So yeah, let's see what's happening today. If you go to the labs.google page, the website is a really ugly looking website that Google has put up. You'd think that somebody like them could come up with something interesting, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we'll sort of touch on today in terms of everything that they've come up. But if you want to play with all of these tools that we're going to discuss today, I'm going to just show you a quick video. Well, it's not that quick a video because there's so many things in there, but it's like a the conference was for a few days, and the announcement, there was a bunch of announcements. So this video is just kind of shortening it into just 17 minutes. So let's just see if I got my video started here. There we go. Let me just go from the beginning. All right.
Google!
I could skip over the fanfare, I think.
We all ready to do a little Googling?
Welcome to Google I/O. It's great to have all of you with us. We'll begin launching this fully revamped experience, AI overviews, to everyone in the US this week, and we'll bring it to more countries soon. With Gemini, you're making that a whole lot easier. Say you're at a parking station ready to pay. Now you can simply ask photos. It knows the cars that appear often. It triangulates which one is yours and just tells you the license plate.
So maybe I must just bandwidth here.
You can even follow up with something more complex. Show me how Lucia's swimming has progressed. Here, Gemini goes beyond a simple search, recognizing different contexts, from doing laps in the pool to snorkeling in the ocean. We are rolling out Ask Photos this summer with more capabilities.
So this one is basically it's one of Google's apps or whatever it is. Maybe a lot of you use Photos, Google Photos. I certainly have got a lot of my photos backed up there, and it allows you now to search through your photos with AI, so you can come up with specific things like this, like they just described. So that's
to come. Multimodality radically
you.
expands the questions we can ask and the answers we will get back. Long context takes this a step further, enabling us to bring in even more information. Hundreds of pages of text, hours of audio, a full hour of video, or entire code repos. So you need a 1 million token context window, now possible with Gemini 1.5 Pro.
So just the context window is the amount of stuff that you can upload in your prompt. So you basically, let's say you can upload as much as a whole book as part of your prompt, and then ask it questions about that book. The 1 million tokens would be more than enough to do that, and that's what he was describing there.
I'm excited to announce that we are bringing this improved version of Gemini 1.5 Pro to all developers globally. Gemini 1.5 Pro with 1 million contexts is now directly available for consumers in Gemini Advanced and can be used across 35 languages. So today,
Gemini Advanced is quite a powerful chatbot, and just FYI, you could go and play with it. I just signed up with it this week for the sort of a free trial, and it gave me like 2.5 months to play with it as a trial version. So that, and I think it's $20 once I start paying. But so it's since it's giving you the 2 months or whatever to play,
we are expanding the context window to 2 million tokens. This represents the next step on our journey towards the ultimate goal of infinite context. And you couldn't make the PTA meeting. The recording of the meeting is an hour long. If it's from Google Meet, you can ask Gemini to give you the highlights. There's a parents group looking for volunteers. You're free that day. Of course, Gemini can draft a reply. Gemini 1.5 Pro is available today in Workspace Labs.
Notebook LM.
Okay, so that was Workspace Labs, but it's obviously going to come into Workspace as well. So Workspace is where all your most of the tools, that the slides and the docs and the sheets. So Workspace Gemini 1.5 is going to be part of that. So you're going to have that capability across all of those tools. This one is notebook. It's not
It's going
available.
to take all the materials on the left as input and output them into a lively science discussion personalized for him.
So let's dive into physics. What's on deck for today?
Well, we're starting with the basics, force and motion.
Okay.
And that, of course, means we have to talk about Sir Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion.
And what's amazing is that my son and I can join into the conversation and steer it whichever direction we want. When I tap join.
Hold on, we have a question. What's up, Josh?
Yeah, can you give my son Jimmy a basketball example?
Hey, Jimmy! That's a fantastic idea. Basketball is actually a great way to visualize force and motion. Let's break it down.
Okay, so first, imagine a basketball just sitting there on the court. It's not moving, right? That's because all the forces acting on it are balanced. The downward pull of gravity.
It connected the dots and created that age-appropriate example for him.
Making AI helpful for everyone.
Last year, we reached a milestone on that path when we formed Google DeepMind. So today, we're introducing Gemini 1.5 Flash. Flash is a lighter weight model compared to Pro. Starting today, you can use 1.5 Flash and 1.5 Pro with up to 1 million tokens in Google AI Studio and Vertex AI. Today, we have some exciting new progress to share about the future of AI assistants that we're calling Project Astra.
Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption.
I want to interrupt quickly. It does, because this clip doesn't show the whole video, but you see the glasses lying here over on the right-hand side. She sort of casually scans over it and walks past and does a couple of other things, and then later comes back and asks, "Where are my glasses?" Or, "Did you remember where you saw my glasses?" And it told her exactly. It's lying next to the apple on the desk. So that's something that the video doesn't show, but I thought that was pretty amazing.
And decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
So there she's actually putting on those glasses now. So this is something that they don't explicitly say in the video, but if you remember, we spoke about Meta's Ray-Bans, where you can put on glasses and then ask it questions and use it as if you're using your phone's camera. Well, that's what they sort of suggesting here with her putting on the glasses.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve.
You see the text that's coming in there is then projected on the glasses.
Today, we're introducing a series of updates across our generative media tools with new models covering image, music, and video.
Today, I'm so excited to introduce Imagen 3. Imagen 3 is more photorealistic. You can literally count the whiskers on its snout, with richer details, like this incredible sunlight in the shot, and fewer visual artifacts or distorted images. You can sign up today to try Imagen 3 in ImageFX, part of our suite of AI tools at labs.google. Together with YouTube, we've been building Music AI Sandbox, a suite of professional music AI tools that can create new instrumental sections from scratch, transfer styles between tracks, and more.
Today, I'm excited to announce our newest, most capable generative video model called VO.
So VO is then going to be a direct competitor with something like Sora. Sora is what ChatGPT has announced, but not yet released, and we're not sure when that's coming out. VO is also not available yet, but they have given you the opportunity to sign up on the wait list. So it's interesting that to see who's going to be first.
VO creates high-quality 1080p videos from text, image, and video prompts. It can capture the details of your instructions in different visual and cinematic styles. You can prompt for things like aerial shots of a landscape or a time-lapse, and further edit your videos using additional prompts. You can use video in our new experimental tool called Video FX. We're exploring features like storyboarding and generating longer scenes. Not only is it important to understand where an object or subject should be in space, it needs to maintain this consistency over time, just like the car in this video. Over the coming weeks, some of these features will be available to select creators through Video Effects at labs.google, and the waitlist is open now.
Today, we are excited to announce the 6th generation of TPUs called Trillium. Trillium delivers a 4.7x improvement in.
So this is just the hardware stuff that they're talking about, that they've implemented, and that's a massive amount of investment that Google is putting into the servers, which is just going to deliver more and deliver
compute
it faster.
Performance per chip over the previous generation. We'll make Trillium available to our cloud customers in late 2024.
We're making AI overviews even more helpful for your most complex questions. To make this possible, we're introducing multi-step reasoning in Google Search. Soon you'll be able to ask Search to find the best yoga or Pilates studios in Boston, and show you details on their inter-offers, and the walking time from Beacon Hill. You get some studios with great ratings and their introductory offers. And you can see the distance for each. Like this one, it's just a 10-minute walk away. Right below, you see where they're located, laid out visually. It breaks your bigger question down into all its parts. And it figures out which problems it needs to solve, and in what order. Next, take planning, for example. Now you can ask Search to create a 3-day meal plan for a group that's easy to prepare. And here you get a plan with a wide range of recipes from across the web. If you want to get more veggies in, you can simply ask Search to swap in a vegetarian dish. And you can export your meal plan or get the ingredients as a list just by tapping here. Soon you'll be able to ask questions with video right in Google Search.
I'm going to take a video and ask Google, why will this not stay in place? And in a near instant, Google gives me an AI overview. I get some reasons this might be happening and steps I can take to troubleshoot.
You'll start to see these features rolling out in Search in the coming weeks.
And now we're really excited that the new Gemini-powered side panel will be generally available next month. 3 new capabilities coming to Gmail Mobile. It looks like there's an email thread on this with lots of emails that I haven't read. And luckily for me, I can simply tap the summarize option up top and skip reading this long back and forth. Now, Gemini pulls up this helpful mobile card as an overlay, and this is where I can read a nice summary of all the salient information that I need to know. Now, I can simply type out my question right here in the mobile card and say something like, compare my roof repair bids by price and availability. This new Q&A feature makes it so easy to get quick answers on anything in my inbox without having to first search Gmail, then open the email, and then look for the specific information in attachments and so on. I see some suggested replies from Gemini. Now, here I see I have declined the service, suggest a new time. These new capabilities in Gemini and Gmail will start rolling out this month to Labs users. It's got a PDF that's an attachment from a hotel as a receipt, and I see a suggestion in the side panel. Help me organize and track my receipts. Step 1. Create a Drive folder and put this receipt and 37 others it's found into that folder. Step 2, extract the relevant information from those receipts in that folder into a new spreadsheet. Gemini offers you the option to automate this so that this particular workflow is run on all future emails. Gemini does the hard work of extracting all the right information from all the files and in that folder and generates this sheet for you. Show me where the money is spent. Gemini not only analyzes the data from the sheet, but also creates a nice visual to help me see the complete breakdown by category. This particular ability will be rolling out to Labs users this September. We're prototyping a virtual Gemini-powered teammate.
Chip's been given a specific job role with a set of descriptions on how to be helpful for the team. You can see that here. And some of the jobs are to monitor and track projects. We've listed a few out, to organize information and provide context, and a few more things. Are we on track for launch? Chip gets to work not only searching through everything it has access to, but also synthesizing what's found and coming back with an up-to-date response. There it is. A clear timeline, a nice summary, and notice even in this first message here, Chip flags a potential issue the team should be aware of. Because we're in a group space, everyone can follow along, anyone can jump in at any time. As you see, someone just did, asking Chip to help create a doc to help address the issue.
And this summer, you can have an in-depth conversation with Gemini using your voice. We're calling this new experience Live. When you go live, you'll be able to open your camera so Gemini can see what you see and respond to your surroundings in real time. So we're rolling out a new feature that lets you customize it for your own needs and create personal experts on any topic you want. We're calling these gems. Just tap to create a gem, write your instructions once, and come back whenever you need it. For example, here's a gem that I created that acts as a personal writing coach. It specializes in short stories with mysterious twists, and it even builds on the story drafts in my Google Drive.
So Gems is very similar to ChatGPT's GPTs. So I think those the GPTs are often referred to as assistants. I think that's where Google is going with Gems, that it's actually the GPTs of Gemini. So they are very similar. The one thing you'll notice with all of this stuff is they all have names and brands and stuff. So it's going to be very hard to keep track of all of these names. But it's just a case of just remember all the functionality, and then we'll go find the tools somewhere.
Gems will roll out in the coming months. That reasoning and intelligence all come together in the new trip planning experience in Gemini Advanced. We're going to Miami. My son loves art, my husband loves seafood, and our flight and hotel details are already in my Gmail inbox. To make sense of these variables, Gemini starts by gathering all kinds of information from search and helpful extensions like Maps and Gmail. The end result is a personalized vacation plan presented in Gemini's new dynamic UI. I like these recommendations, but my family likes to sleep in. So I tap to change the start time, and just like that, Gemini adjusted my itinerary for the rest of the trip. This new trip planning experience will be rolling out to Gemini Advanced this summer. You can upload your entire thesis, your sources, your notes, your research, and soon interview audio recordings and videos too. It can dissect your main points, identify improvements, and even roleplay as your professor. Maybe you have a side hustle selling handcrafted products. Simply upload all of your spreadsheets and ask Gemini to visualize your earnings. Gemini goes to work calculating your returns and pulling its analysis together into a single chart. And of course, your files are not used to train our models. Later this year, we'll be doubling the long context window to 2 million tokens.
We're putting AI-powered search right at your fingertips. Let's say my son needs help with a tricky physics word problem, like this one. If he's stumped on this question, instead of putting me on the spot, he can circle the exact part he's stuck on and get step-by-step instructions, right where he's already doing the work. This new capability is available today.
Now, we're making Gemini context aware. So my friend Pete is asking if I want to play pickleball this weekend. So I'm going to reply and try to be funny, and I'll say, is that like tennis but with pickles? And I'll say, create image of tennis with pickles. Now, one new thing you'll notice is that the Gemini window now hovers in place above the app so that I stay in the flow. Okay, so that generates some pretty good images. What's nice is I can then drag and drop any of these directly into the Messages app below. So, like so. Cool, let me send that. And because it's context aware, Gemini knows I'm looking at a video. So it proactively shows me an ask this video chip. What is can't type, the to bounce rule? By the way, this uses signals like YouTube's captions, which means you can use it on billions of videos. So give it a moment, and there. Starting with Pixel later this year, we'll be expanding what's possible with our latest model, Gemini Nano with multimodality. So several years ago, we developed TalkBack, an accessibility feature that helps people navigate their phone through touch and spoken feedback. And now we're taking that to the next level with the multimodal capabilities of Gemini Nano. So when someone sends Kara a photo, she'll get a richer and clearer description of what's happening. And the model even works when there's no network connection. These improvements to TalkBack are coming later this year.
1.5 Pro is $7 per 1 million tokens. And I'm excited to share that for prompts up to 128K, it'll be 50% less for $3.50. And 1.5 Flash will start at 35 cents per 1 million tokens. And today's newest member, PolyGemma, our first vision language open model, and it's available right now. I'm also too excited to announce that we have Gemma 2 coming.
So these are all open source models that Google is working on?
It's the next generation of Gemma, and it will be available in June.
Today, we're expanding SynthID to 2 new modalities, text and video. And in the coming months, we'll be open sourcing SynthID text watermarking. I'm excited to introduce LearnLM, our new family of models based on Gemini and fine-tuned for learning. We're developing some pre-made gems, which will be available in the
And yeah, that's pretty much the whole video. I think there's so much there that, and as I said, there's so many different products and
like
things
story
that they're building in there, that it's quite hard to keep track of everything. But that's has anyone got any questions or comments about what Google is doing, or has anybody sort of gone and played with some of these things in the last few days since launch? I'm sure there must be questions because it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around all of this stuff. Okay, so you're all stumped. Okay, well, I think the most important thing for me, that's why I put this slide up, is just kind of looking at Google Workspace specifically, because a lot of that stuff is cool to look at and to create videos and stuff. I don't think that's something that all of us are going to do. But if you're going to look at, so Gemini building into Workspace, what that's going to mean, if you go to the website, you'll see that they show, for instance, examples how Gemini is going to be useful within Workspace. So they show you the research analyst anyway, where you can ask a question and it will help you with your research. And then also then if you click on the sales assistant one, the sales assistant is within Docs that you can call up to help me write, and then the sales assistant in this case will help you write a customer proposal, and also of course have all the details available, because if you're working in Google Workspace, a lot of the information is available in your spreadsheets, so you can tell it to refer to spreadsheets and bring that information across into your Google Docs. And then if you're in your Gmail, obviously it can help you right there and give you some suggestions and stuff in terms of how to write. And then within the Google Slides or the PowerPoint version, it can help you create presentations quite quickly, and it's going to be quite creative, and it's going to have the ability to create images which you can customize specifically for your presentation. And then what it's got here is called the effects editor, which is just in Google Meet to create some funky backgrounds and filters and things like that. So these are all those sort of the workspace things. I think that's going to be useful for especially for if that's where you're working already and where you're doing most of your stuff. If you're just signing up with that for the first time, a Gemini Business is going to cost you $20, and Gemini Enterprise is $30 per user. So yeah, that's the Google Workspace. The other one is this FX tool that they talk about, which is in yet another website, but it allows you to basically create music, do images, but then also create videos within the website. So that's Video FX, and it's got this interesting new prompting sort of format, if you will, that it highlights the important things that it's focusing on when you're giving it a prompt, and you can sort of change that to make sure that it focuses on the right stuff. That's image FX, and then music FX. You can literally select instruments and add that on to your work of art. If I click on here, there's your video FX, your image FX, and your music FX. If you want to create stuff, just quickly see if I can get the music FX to work. Let's say I'm feeling lucky, and then it's going to give me a mixture of different instruments here, and it's going to give me a prompt, which, as I said, it's you can do yourself, or you could just let it do it, and it's now generating a song. Beautiful rock melodic pop that is a chill, slow tempo with the world. There, I've just created my own song. So yeah, you can obviously export that. And if I put the DJ mode on, I can listen to this mix that they have here. And I can add, let's say I'll add exponential base. I'll take one on and make the base more pronounced, and then we'll play that music. So you can hear I've got a very loud bass. Anyway, this is just stuff that I thought was pretty cool and pretty funky to play with. You guys can tell me what sort of use cases you think is going to be useful for that, for our day-to-day stuff. Any comments or amazement or questions coming from you guys?
Quentin, it's just amazing. That's the only thing. It's scary actually that that amount of information, or that what is available already out there and what can be done. And since the first meeting that you had with us, I've played around a little bit more than what I've done before on other platforms also. And I must tell you, I scare myself.
Are you getting creative or just more productive, George?
A little bit of both.
Oh, that's good.
My English grammar has definitely improved dramatically, and my writing also.
That's great. And you know what that does actually is it just builds confidence, because you know, in the past, you know, if you feel like, oh, I don't know how to write or whatever, you're quite hesitant to write the emails or to correspond with people. But if that's something that can help you, that's fantastic. And especially for, I feel like, you know, countries like South Africa or African countries competing in a global market, we often feel like, oh, but our English is not good enough to, you know, deal with people in Europe or in UK or in America. And therefore, we sort of hold back in terms of competing in those markets. Whereas if you are able to, you know, to write properly with, like you say, with all the right grammar and stuff, but you can also create avatars that can do the voiceovers for you and pronounce the words perfectly. You know, you're on a level. You get to compete with these guys overseas. But yeah, it is quite amazing.
What I also did, and I think that's something we in the HR field can get a quick one on us. I took a document, I took a standard document, uploaded it, and say, please fix the grammar. So it came back and it said to me, it's grammatically okay. You could, here's a small change here, here's a small change there. But uploading a document and then looking at the AI and say, write me a new job description for this. I think that's where we can win. You know, where we sit hours and days sometimes, or please give me an ad for a new marketing executive. It pops out, it's there. So the productivity is increased multiple times.
Absolutely, yeah. That I think I don't know what tool were you using, George? ChatGPT or which one?
I use Gemini. I use ChatGPT for an Excel document that I wanted to analyze, but then it did the one thing and then it stopped me because it ran out of my daily limit. It said you can do it tomorrow at 1:08 again.
Oh, so you're on the free version then?
I'm on the free version.
Okay, yeah. No, the analytics capability is very powerful, and I think we must look at that at some point as again. We've done so in the past, but I've played around with it a lot, and I find it super useful. Louisa, how are you?
Hi, Quentin. Hi, everyone.
Good to see.
No, this is really amazing. I don't know where to start. I can, you know, I can simulate what George is saying, but I just wanted to say about what George said in kind of a job description. If you need to rewrite something, some of these jobs haven't been written yet, George. You need to ask AI to say, listen, what is the next level of you know, recruiting you know, people at different levels, because everyone's so tailor-made around, you know, their job specific, and they become specialists in what they are. And yeah, that's your new challenge, George, I think.
Yeah, redefine the jobs for the future.
For the future, yes.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to ask Quentin, I just wanted to know, like, what type, in terms of the storage, does it actually, keep it as, is it like does it take up like a full-on space in your computer? I mean, sorry, in the cloud, or is it, can you zip it and then you can just and take less storage, because we all run out of data. Then we
Yeah.
obviously storage we need to pay for and things like that. Just a
Yeah.
question.
No, so in terms of storage, I mean, depends on what you're producing. If you're producing really big files and like videos and stuff like that, that's and you download it.
Yeah.
But the actual processing of it happens in the cloud. That's why these companies like ChatGPT and Google and them have got massive buildings and warehouses full of servers across the world that's running these processes. And that's one of the issues that has actually come up, is that they're saying AI is producing more greenhouse gases and pollution, and with all of these factories or these warehouses running these models, and they use so much water to cool these servers and things like that. So that's a concern, which actually before I get to the next one, but to answer your question, so if you are going to be running open source model, for instance, on your laptop, then that's a concern, or that's something that you need to have a laptop that can cope with that. But if you're just using ChatGPT like most of us do, it doesn't affect your space. The biggest thing for you is going to be bandwidth, and just in terms of the internet connection, and that you have a clear connection. And just in terms of, sometimes I find these large language models or these chatbots kind of slow down this time of the day and in the evening, because I think the biggest market is obviously in the US, and there's a lot more users coming on board at that time. So I often, if I want to do some big stuff, I do it in the mornings, because I assume that most of these people are asleep. But then that's just kind of my practical experience that I've found. But the next thing that I quickly can show you is this Microsoft's Copilot that they just came out with 2 days ago or something. What the idea of Microsoft Copilot plus PC is basically giving you exactly that. It's giving you the capability on your laptop to run these models. And there's obviously some benefits to that, in terms of then the stuff doesn't get run in the cloud on the Google servers, so it runs on your machine, and it's faster that way. But also there's more privacy in terms of that. So if you can run the models on your laptop, you're not sharing your information with everybody else or with these big models. So I'm just going to show you a quick video. It's just a 1-minute video of what's coming with Google stuff. I am still sharing, right? I'm like trying to see why can't I share. So this is Copilot PC. I'll show you quickly what that does. It really is just a promotional video, but we'll quickly have a look and see what's in store for that. Oh. Really? Restart my device? Not now. You can see, yeah, they talk about the chips and stuff that's built into the laptop now. Those earlier conversations was about the servers that runs in the cloud. This is the one that's on your laptop. So now you're bringing all that computing power down to your machine if you buy one of these. 50 trillion operations per second. Oh, this is an interesting one. It basically creates a timeline on your machine. So everything that you've done, let's say you worked on a spreadsheet 2 weeks ago and you've kind of forgotten, what did I do, or where did I do it? What did I call this document? This will remember everything that you've done, and you can, with AI, just ask it, what because it's recording your screen the whole time. It's like, what did I do 2 weeks ago, and what did I say on that document, and where was the document? So you can literally go back in history on your document. And now I've paused it. Now we've got to start again. So there you go. Search your history on your laptop. So this one would be like just images and stuff like that. It's got built-in sketch, AI sketching, where you're sketching and it's creating at the same time this wonderful picture. And then the translations, as we said. So you get like hundreds of translations that, again, this is on the machine as opposed to, going to ChatGPT and asking it for a translation, or even Canva, as we said, that does the translation. So yeah, all of that Copilot functionality is going to be obviously built into this machine. So it's going to bring all of this extra sort of benefits of running it on your machine. And yeah, that could be a whole day discussion as well, but I'll just leave it there for today. So Louisa, you can go buy yourself one of these new Microsoft laptops.
The costs, something really.
Yeah, I don't even want to ask. Maybe your company can sponsor you, Louisa. I'm sure they'll. If you're going to show them the productivity that you're going to get out of it. Oh, Grant, yeah, that's interesting. On sale at Incredible Connection. Let us know.
Oh, wow.
And then you can maybe get us all some vouchers or a special discount at Incredible to go and buy these laptops. Good. All right, everybody. Is there anybody else with more questions, comments? Is there anything else that you guys want to see more of that we can do next week? I'm thinking to do more of this Microsoft stuff, but a week is a long time, so I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming out in the next week or so. Last week and this week I've shown a lot of videos, but we can get into sort of more specific practical demos that I've found for you guys. Yeah, it's interesting times we live in. Good. All right, everybody. That's it then for this Wednesday. Data analytics tools. Yeah, Grant, I think we did that 1 week, and I showed you guys at your office that day, but we can definitely do more of that. Good. All right, everyone. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Cheers.